very sad news. Just an amazing baseball man, an amazing baseball life. At one time, Don Zimmer had said that he has never earned a dime other than being employed by baseball. That's what he did his entire life. He loved it. And those Yankee years with the World Series championships with Joe Torre at the helm, all you could picture is Don Zimmer sitting right next to him and helping him call the shots. And I know Derek Jeter was very fond of Zim as well. And our condolences go out to his family. Very, very sad, and he will be missed for sure.
Wow.
He was a coach when you were on the Yankees, right, John?
He was, and he was also a third base coach when I got called up to the big leagues. And this is that's tough news. I mean, it's not going to be the same. You go down to Tampa, you're expected to see Zim and talk baseball with him, and really changed my career as a young player with a very intense conversation, let's put it that way, one day in the clubhouse, where I was a backup player and got into a game late. Tony Peña's catching a blowout Jack McDowell in his Cy Young heyday, and I get put in late in the game, and Zim sees something that I did late and he didn't like, and he waited till the next day, got me in the clubhouse before batting practice, and gave me a very stern talking to about what it takes to be the 25th guy on a club, and how you don't have to be the most talented player to stick around the big leagues by having the right attitude, not causing any problems. And Al and Michael, I thought I was going down. The talk was intense, in my face, and he ended it and said, the manager and the organization will never know we had this talk. You just never forget it. And I never did.
Gosh, I'm only having my association with Don Zimmer has been across the field. Never had him as a coach, but I hear you, John. And you know what I think of Michael? Is a real pleasant man. Always had something nice to say, a smile. You talk about baseball knowledge. I mean, just quick to just talk about any baseball-related story. And what a pleasure and honor to be around him.
And what a career with the Brooklyn Dodgers in the 50s and with the Mets when they started, and obviously Boston Red Sox manager. And probably his greatest years, I would think, at least in the championship sense, sitting next to Joe Torre. And what a baseball life it was. 12 seasons as a player, 3 World Series titles as a player, 13 seasons as a manager of the year with the Cubs. What a season that was. He was actually calling hit and runs with the bases loaded. He just did everything. He was like a riverboat gambler. Yankee bench coach for the 4 World Series titles, and then since 2004, the Rays senior baseball advisor. Just his face meant baseball to me.
You guys always hear me talk about, a possible hit and run situation right here. That was Don Zimmer. When you were on this team and he was the bench coach, that's all he talked about as a bench player. You better know how to bunt. You better know how to hit and run. Don't be surprised if we put a safety squeeze on when you're playing. All the little fundamental plays he was a stickler for. Old school baseball.
Pitch to Callaspo is a strike. He would bounce ideas off Joe Torre during those championship years. Maybe you want to try this. And, Joe would use a lot of them, say no to some of them, but he kept giving him ideas. And he was a big part of those titles, and Joe Torre would tell you that. We're talking about Don Zimmer, and the man that's managing the Yankees, one of the reasons he's here is because of Don Zimmer. He really pushed for the Yankees to get Joe Girardi. Past experiences with him, and he suggested strongly, this is the guy, and they brought him in '96, and he was a starting catcher on that '96 World Series team. So I'm sure that Joe is going to be broken up when he hears about Don Zimmer. He was very close with him.